Here is a world of communication, tailored for your needs of today and tomorrow, bringing together all people in a new era of understanding. Keeping in touch by means of the amazing new Bell Boy is the Bell System's answer today for doctors, salesmen, delivery men, or anyone who must be available at all times in the fast-paced world of Century 21. When someone calls and you are out, you can be reached by dialing your Bell Boy code number. When you get a signal on the Bell Boy, you can go to a phone to call your office or home and get the message. This is the automatic dialer. Just listen for dial tone, insert a number card, and press the start bar. The Bell System automatic dialer dials for you more quickly and easily than you can do it yourself. Numbers you call frequently can be punched on small plastic cards. Pick a city, then see how fast direct distance dialing really is. Dial the area code, then the weather report telephone number. Presto, instant weather. With DDD, most calls go through in 20 seconds or less. Here you see the Bell solar battery in action, turning light into electricity to run this display. Solar batteries are used to convert sunlight to electrical power and make our satellites talk back from outer space.
Thank you. Hi, this is the Bell System's new touch-tone dialing. With this indicator, you see how many seconds you save the new way. Let's try it. Okay, I'll race you. Ready? Go. I beat you.
Welcome to our exhibit. I'm glad to have this opportunity to tell you about the telephone switching center of tomorrow. The electronic central office, which is made possible by the magic of the transistor and other tiny but amazing devices invented by the Bell Telephone Laboratories. Imagine, if you can, an electronic brain operating at millionth of a second speeds. I say brain because the new electronic central office will almost think for itself. It will not only carry out instructions you dial into it, it will also remember instructions you provided earlier. These memory features will offer many convenient services I'm sure you'll be delighted with. For one thing, you'll be able to reach frequently called numbers by dialing only 2 digits. All you'll have to do is give the telephone company a list of the numbers you dial most frequently. The electronic brain's memory will do the rest. To see how it works, please watch the screen.
Is it time to phone Grandma?
Now, let's see. All right.
Now, let's say you want to call your mother, who lives in Des Moines. You call her fairly often, so the telephone company has assigned 53 as your special number for making this call. When you dial the 5 and the 3, the electronic central office's brain says, uh-oh, something special, searches its memory for what those 2 digits represent, and dials the area code plus the full number in Des Moines for you. Hello?
Hello, Grandma.
Ever been invited out for an evening and had to turn it down because you're expecting an extra special call? Well, the electronic central office will solve that problem for you, too. When you do go out, it will be a simple matter to have your calls transferred. All you'll have to do is dial a special code, which tells the equipment's brain you want your calls transferred, and then dial the telephone number where you can be reached. Our amazing electronic central office will take it from there.
I think it's a wonderful call for you. No, you take it. Hello?
Diane?
No, this isn't Diane. It's Linda.
Linda? What gives? This is Jim Morton. I was calling Diane Brown.
Oh, yes, she's here. She had her calls transferred to my house. Hi, Jim.
And what about those times someone has tried to call you and your line is busy? We've thought of that, too.
fine, Sarah, that's fine. I'll have the information for you at the meeting next Wednesday.
When you hear the beep tone on your telephone, you know someone else is trying to reach you.
Sarah, will you hold on just a minute? Someone else is trying to reach me.
All you do is flick the switch hook to hold the first call while you
Hello?
take the second.
Oh, hello, dear. I was just talking to Sarah. I see. Okay, dear, but you tell Fred next time he's in town he's to bring Helen, right? Bye, dear.
You flick the button back and go on with your first call.
Hello, Sarah? That was Bert calling.
Easy as pie, isn't it? And here's another feature you're going to find handy. Now look.
Sarah, Jane knows a lot more about that than I do. Why don't we get her on the line and find out? Okay, just a minute.
Want someone else on the line? That's easy, too. Flip the switch button, then dial a code number and the number you want. And presto.
Hello, Jane? This is Martha. Listen, I have Sarah on the line, and we want to know what to do about...
As we look to the future, we see many extras for tomorrow's telephone users. One day, you may be able to call home and automatically turn off the oven. Or, from a public telephone a couple of 100 miles away, turn on your home air conditioner and have the house nice and cool when you return from your hot trip. It may even be possible to call and water the lawn during that dry spell when you are many miles away on vacation. Sounds fantastic, doesn't it? But it is all possible because of the basic research our scientists and engineers at the Bell Telephone Laboratories are doing to make your service better day by day. From their work has come breakthrough after breakthrough in science, providing the intricate devices that lie at the heart of your telephone service of tomorrow. Through the invention of better things, we are trying very hard to give you the kind of telephone service you want and need. And we think you'll agree, after seeing the many exhibits we have here, there is no end to telephone progress now or in Century 21.
You're seeing it all. As the present unfolds, what the future beholds, you're elated, fascinated. See the art shows, walk the thoroughfare, on the boulevards leading everywhere. Ride a rickshaw, dine on caviar, you can telephone a star. It's a wonderful age on a beautiful stage, demonstrated for you, been created for you. It's just a part of the thrilling start of Century 21.
Suburbs. Almost as much written about as Madison Avenue. And just as much in need of reflection. Like Madison Avenue, life in the suburbs has its good moments and others not so good.
Oh, no!
Discouraged? Disgruntled? Heck no. They're glad to be here. Remember? So they join the stream of family life in the suburbs, soon to become part of its familiar sights, soon to absorb its familiar sounds.
Anybody home?
These are what Red Book means by its young adults. People in a certain living situation with particular interests and particular goals. These young adults begin to discover Red Book about the time they apply for their marriage license. Start life in their own homes, have their first baby, take out their first loan, and they stay with Red Book through their busiest years. As Red Book sees them, they're an energetic lot, a carefree lot, even though so suddenly plunged into family life. As the babies start coming, they usually decide to concentrate on their houses, with the woman staying home to learn new ways to run a household. Where it soon dawns on her that she could use a little expert help. While the kids are young, many of the mothers try to stay at home, which isn't always so easy either. There are times when it's good to have other young adults to talk to. But wherever they go, there's usually a baby nearby. And about the time the parents think their children have them hypnotized, they give a party and bring the kids.
School construction, we were talking about that all the time. I think that when they build the schools, you can play.
I'd rather have only big auditoriums than
Well, you don't educate by an auditorium. Today's, you can have those.
I always know how my children behave.
That's good.
Any magazine written for young adults and matching their busy lives is bound to be lively, full of things to talk about, varied, and warm. On their own for the first time, and determined not to miss a single new homemaking idea. They're busy just making choices and welcome solid information in concise form. It takes a while for a young couple to realize all they're in for when they buy a house or when they have a baby. And when they buy a house and have a baby, so hardly realizing it, they come into their purchasing stage and are off on a wild, non-stop ride. It's a happy-go-spending whirl, reflected in the windows of the suburban shopping centers where they go to buy. Red Book has been studying shopping centers because the people who created the suburbs are young adults, and the shopping centers are built in their image. Selling to young adults demands a new kind of marketing. For these young adults, the shopping centers have built fountains, commissioned statues, put in restaurants and freestanding stairways. They've included banks, loan offices, rental plans, plant nurseries, and places to buy building materials. The shopping centers see these young adults as people whose homes are always in need of expansion. People who buy in large quantities and truck it away in their cars. It's a big market. To help people find their cars, the centers have enlisted the children. They've put in shopmobiles to help them cover the ground. They've added banks of storage lockers, miles of checkout counters, and endless rows of carts. Carts rolling down the malls at Southdale, at Northland, at Gulfgate, Sunrise, and East Point, at Hillsdale in California. These young adults, shopping with the same determination that led them to the suburbs in the first place, are the goingest part of a nation on wheels. Living by the automobile, the first young adults in the age of the push button. Like the rest of life in suburbia, shopping has a family flavor.
Do you remember what size she was?
5.
Then we bought a tree to go with it.
Yes, that was pretty nice.
Well, shall I take it?
These busy families make the shopping centers look young and colorful. They have a let's go see quality that brings crowds to community events and promotions. For the children, whom the young adults have always at hand, there's plenty to do and see. While his family shops, a boy can catch a fish, ride the rides, go to the circus, visit the center zoo, and have his hair cut. And if that doesn't tire him out, his mother can put him in the center's nursery school, where he can get paint on his shirt, see his friends, and wear himself out on the bars. Since these young adults seem to be able to outlast their children, they stash them away at a neighbor's house and go back to the center for more. This is the life young adults lead, summed up recently in a single phrase, and dramatized by Redbook in major shopping centers all over the country. For more than 2 years, Redbook had been working with merchants' associations in shopping centers, studying young adults. When the Easy Living promotion was presented, almost every store joined in. The first center-wide promotion in the history of marketing. Before Redbook could develop a successful selling program for young adults, it had to get out and see them many different ways. It had to get to know them so well that it could become a magazine solely for them. What are young adults like from an editor's point of view? Well, they're not so much highbrows or lowbrows as wrinkled brows. They're serious, and no wonder. To give these serious young adults the substance they want, to build a durable relationship with each reader, Redbook edits for one person at a time. Having established a personal relationship with its readers, Red Book then talks to them so that they recognize their own living situations in its pages.
I wonder whether we could be happy in a place like that.
When we brought the baby home, I thought Billy looked awfully worried.
I've got a boy just like him. Comes home from school, always asking questions.
I remember the first time my daughter asked me about God.
They were out on strike for months. If that ever happened to us, I don't know what my husband would do.
Just as the realities of family life are thoroughly woven into Red Book, so are the realities of community life. Many young adults come to the suburbs as ex-apartment renters. So, what about the roads, the schools? Will somebody please explain what a bond issue is? Writing for young adults, Red Book's editors have to keep learning and analyzing. Without too much crystal ball gazing, Red Book's editors have to keep an eye to the future.
Are you going to the dance tomorrow night? Yeah, if I get my homework done.
There is a whole new generation coming, soon to be young adults. A bigger than ever market of people who have a history of their own, who remember all the way back to Eisenhower, who probably never saw their mother use a ringer, think automobiles are household appliances, and have reserved seats on the next rocket to leave the Earth. But right now, you can ride along with the happy-go-spending, buy it now, young adults of today. Ride with the young adults who are buying 70% of all homes sold. Swing into the orbit of more than 2.5 million families. Right now, with the only mass magazine aimed exclusively at young adults.
It's fun to eat supper with your family, especially when there is good food on the table. Strong, healthy bodies. They are good foods to eat.
Father is certainly enjoying his supper. So is Carol. So is Mother. Just look at that plate. Aren't you feeling well, Bill? Aren't you hungry? What can be the matter? After supper, it's fun to play a while before bed. But there's still something wrong, isn't there, Bill? In a moment, you'll know what it is. Yes, Bill, you're getting a stomachache. When you have a stomachache, it isn't any fun to play. There it is again. Poor Bill. What now? We'll soon know, because here comes Mother. Mother can tell right away that Bill isn't feeling well. So, what happens next? Yes, Bill's put to bed to get some rest. Now, why does Bill have a stomachache? He didn't eat anything bad today, did he? Well, perhaps it wasn't what he ate, but the way he ate it. Why, even this morning, Mother was a little worried. Let's go back to this morning and see how Bill's stomachache might have happened. Bill wasn't at breakfast on time this morning. You see, he didn't get up when Father first called him. Oh, Bill got to the table, and he ate his breakfast, or rather, part of it. Orange juice, one big gulp of it. Milk for the cereal. Splash it on. No time to waste. Gobble down the cereal, a couple of big spoonfuls, one right after the other. But leave most of it. Now for the eggs. More good, healthful food. But what about Bill's eating habits? Into his mouth went some egg. Right away, a big bite of toast. And there was some bacon, so he stuffed in part of that. And then, just one big splash of milk. And Bill was off to school. Well, he caught up with his family, and he beat them through breakfast. But he ate so fast. And do you think he ate enough? At lunchtime, Bill had some fine sandwiches. He also had money to buy soup. But he didn't want to stand in line for soup. He was in a hurry to go out and play. So, how did Bill eat his lunch? Watch. After school, of course, Bill was hungry. He was hungry, and he had some money. So, but did Bill leave his pop and candy only half-eaten? No, sir. He emptied that pop bottle as fast as he could. He gobbled down all his candy. And, as if that wasn't enough, he ate some cookies, too. Then Bill didn't feel hungry anymore. No, sir. For once, he had eaten too much. At supper time, Bill still felt full. So he didn't hurry with his supper. He just poked at it. He was tired. And he just didn't have any appetite. Bill didn't know it, but he was already beginning to be sick. Well, Bill, now you know what might have caused your stomachache. Why you feel so bad. Why you'll have to stay in bed until you feel better. You see, you hurried so all day long. You rushed through your meals and didn't eat enough good food. And then, in the afternoon, all those sweets. they filled your stomach and didn't leave room for any of the foods you need. In fact, Bill, you mistreated your stomach all day long. No wonder you have a stomach ache. How is it this morning, Bill? Feel better? Think you know now about good eating habits? Downstairs in time for breakfast. Give yourself time to eat a good breakfast. Let's see how well you can eat. That's right. Drink your juice a little at a time. Doesn't it taste good? You just never took time before to find how good food can taste. Mother's pleased and proud. We're off to a good start this morning. But will it last? Will you remember to eat the right way? Uh-oh, almost washed your food down. Before you take a drink, chew your food well and swallow it. Now you're eating pretty well. Will you do as well with the bacon and eggs and toast? Chew your toast thoroughly. That's the way. Chew and chew. Doesn't it taste extra good that way? What about that bacon? Well, maybe there are better ways to cut it. But when you eat it in small bits, you can chew it better. It tastes so good, you want to eat every bite. Breakfast is more fun this way, isn't it? Well, Bill, plenty of time to get to school today. And in class, studying seems easier. What? 11 o'clock? Usually you're mighty hungry by this time. Today, you feel fine. Lunchtime is another time to practice good eating habits. Eat slowly and chew thoroughly. Finish all your food. Later on, drink lots of water. After school, that's the idea, Bill. A good snack of crackers and milk at home. That's the good kind of food if you're hungry after school. And then, play. Hard play. Plenty of pep now. Yesterday's stomach ache is forgotten. At supper time, you're hungry again. Everything tastes good, and you're eating well. See what good eating habits can do for you? Looking for seconds. After supper, you feel fine. No stomach ache, not too tired, not hungry. Just feeling fine. And that's
The symptoms are quite familiar, and very likely you'll come up with a correct diagnosis. Yes, it looks like a cold, a common cold. Runny nose, headache,
achiness, very often a slight fever. Those are some of the symptoms of the common cold. Well, how do we get into that unhappy state? Do we have colds simply because of cold? Because of ice, snow, and low temperature? No. Funny thing about colds, where it is coldest, the inhabitants hardly ever get colds. Explorers tell us that Eskimos are cold-free, unless they come in contact with visitors from outside their frozen world. Then, if it is not just cold weather, what is it that causes so many of us to catch cold? Scientists think that most colds are caused by extremely small microorganisms called viruses. Viruses, and there are many different kinds of them, can be scattered with each particle of saliva and mucus when one sneezes or coughs, for instance. But do not think for a moment that cold-producing viruses are spread only by sneezing and coughing. If by some magic the tiny particles of saliva and mucus could be made visible as a black smudge, we quickly would realize in how many other ways we are apt to scatter bacteria and viruses all around us. For instance, Jane here has a cold. Look at that smudge. Look at those germs she leaves on the doorknob. And here's Bob's hand picking them up. Bob, his hand now covered with germs picked up from that doorknob, transfers them to a book. Sue, having the bad habit of wetting her finger to turn pages, carries the germs from the book to her mouth, and then passes them along with a pencil to Anne. Anne carries them home and leaves them on the family's dinner table. Yes, even during an ordinary conversation, saliva and mucus particles escape our mouth and easily reach others who inhale them as they breathe. Just remember how breath becomes visible on a cold day. How then, with so many germs surrounding us, can we avoid having colds all the time? Well, fortunately, our body has defenses against this enemy. Normally, we breathe through our nose. The nose, as well as the sinuses, the eustachian tubes, and the throat, are lined with a delicate membrane. If, under a microscope, you look at the lining of the nose, we call it the nasal membrane, you can see that it is covered with tiny moving threads. These are called cilia. They move back and forth like stalks of grain when a wind blows over a field. The cilia are covered with a warm, moist, sticky substance called mucus. The nose usually secretes about a quart of this liquid every 24 hours. This mucus, by warming and moistening the air we breathe in, prepares it for our lungs. The mucus also catches and destroys microorganisms, that is, bacteria and viruses. The movement of the cilia carries the mucus down to the pharynx. Then it is coughed out or swallowed into the stomach, where any remaining microorganisms are destroyed by the digestive juices. If these defenses are weakened, the cold virus will gain a foothold and cause the inflammations which so often are associated with the common cold. The common cold is not a serious sickness, but still, medical science as yet has not found a cure for it. Ah, yes, there are remedies galore, all sorts of medications, which soothe pain and headaches and so bring some relief. However, they do not cure colds. And no matter how convincingly they may be advertised, do not use them without having checked with your doctor. But there is a sound prescription. If you have a cold, don't stay in school, because if you do, you may send others home with your cold. If you have a cold, stay home. Stay in bed. This is the prescription which common sense and medical science recommend. Medicines, but only those your doctor prescribes. No others. Warmth, rest, which you can get best when you stay in bed. And while you're there, you might as well make the best of it. safe. Use tissues instead of handkerchiefs. That way you'll dispose of the germs much better than when you blow them into a handkerchief. However, should you not feel better in a couple of days, or if you keep on having a fever, you should ask your parents to call a doctor. You see, what you think is a simple cold could really be the first symptoms of some other disease, such as measles, infantile paralysis, diphtheria, whooping cough, scarlet fever, influenza, and others. However, even if your illness proves to be only a simple cold, it is still important that you take care of it. A cold which is not treated might very well back up along the mucous membrane and so invade the sinuses, the cavities in the bones of the face and the skull. Or the infection may reach the middle ears when it invades the eustachian tubes, which connect the middle ears with the throat. Frequently, the inflammation also travels down the respiratory tract to the pharynx, the larynx, and the trachea. Your throat feels sore and your voice is husky. It travels to the bronchi. You have a bad cough. And occasionally even to the lungs, and that is pneumonia. These are painful complications, and they often take a long time to clear up. The best defense against the common cold and all these other diseases is to keep up the body's natural resistance. To do so, you must eat regularly and well-balanced meals. That is, meat, vegetables, fruit, milk, and so on. Get lots of exercise and fresh air, but do not exhaust yourself. In cold weather, you must wear sensible clothing to provide proper warmth to remain healthy. Go to bed at a reasonable hour. While you grow, you need about 10 hours of sleep each night. Sleep recharges the body's energies. Protect yourself against infection. Keep pencils and other things out of your mouth. Never take bites of other people's food. Do not use somebody else's drinking straw or glass, not even within your own family. In the bathroom, for instance, use only your glass. And wash your hands frequently and thoroughly, especially before eating. When you wash your hands, you wash away many of the disease-carrying smudges you may have picked up. But if in spite of all these precautions, you still come down with a cold, let us repeat, take it to bed and stay there until it has run its course. This is the safest way to regain your health and to return as quickly as possible to work, to fun, and to play.
Here it is at last, the night of the party that everyone's been looking forward to for weeks. That's Betty Brand at the piano. She's the kind of girl who puts life in a party. And here are Jimmy and Sue and Jean and the rest of the gang. They seem to be having a wonderful time. Over here are the ones who'd rather talk than play. And oh yes, here is Adrienne. Adrienne, who usually sits all alone, slumped in her chair in the corner. Adrienne knows that for some reason she doesn't fit into the picture, but she doesn't know why. Her party dress is just as pretty, just as becoming as the clothing the others are wearing. And Adrienne has a sense of humor. She can laugh right along with the others when she knows what it is they're laughing about. But why do they sometimes laugh for no good reason? What is it that creates this unfavorable impression the others have of her? There's a mirror, Adrienne. Go on, look at yourself. See if you can discover what it is. Your face is all right, Adrienne. You're neat and clean and healthy looking. You're neither too fat nor too thin. Why, there's nothing wrong with the way you look. What in the world? The mirror's gone crazy. You hold one hand up, it holds the other one down. Who ever heard of a mirror like this?
Now look here, you. You're supposed to do what I do. You're supposed to show me how I look. No, you listen to me for a change. For years, I've never had a motion of my own. I've just done exactly what you do when you're in front of me. But I'm tired of helping you pretend. I can't show you how you really look because when you're around me, you put on an act. You smile your best smile and you stand up straight. I've always had to show you how you thought you looked. Do you want to see how you really look, Adrienne? This is it. Your head pokes forward, your shoulders slump, your stomach. Well, take a look.
Yes, Adrienne, the mirror may have gone crazy, but for the first time, it's telling you the truth. Like a lot of boys and girls, your posture is your problem. What are you going to do about it?
I'll tell you what I'm going to do about it. I'm going to make you reflect what I want to see, because I'm going to have good posture. You just wait and see. Atta girl, Adrienne.
Yes, Adrienne, you have just taken the most important step toward good posture, wanting to have it. But determination isn't always enough. What is good posture? How can you make it a habit? Maybe you'd better ask someone for help. Your friend Tom? No, his posture is not much better than yours. The best person to ask might be Mr. Riley, your science teacher. He has been teaching you some other things about health. Maybe he can give you some pointers about posture. When you and Tom tell Mr. Riley about your problem, he agrees that posture is important to all young people. So important that he will ask Dr. Martin to come to class to talk with you about it. Dr. Martin is not concerned with how poor posture makes you look to other people. He talks about what good posture means to your health. In the first place, poor posture may be a sign of something wrong with you. You may be run down physically, or overtired, or upset. You need a thorough checkup by your family doctor to discover the cause of your posture defects. Even if your poor posture is only a matter of careless habits, you should see a doctor before you start corrective measures. You see, our skeletons and muscles are designed to support our vital organs so that they can do their best work. If we sag, these organs are pushed out of their proper positions. The muscles are stretched, too, under a strain which they were not designed to take. Stretched muscles and displaced organs tire more quickly and work less efficiently. The health of the whole body is affected. And here's where habit comes in. If you usually slump when you're sitting or walking, as this boy does, your body will accustom itself to poor posture so that it actually becomes difficult for you to sit up tall or walk correctly. To develop good posture habits, the kind this girl has, there are several things you must do. First, exercise. Go in for active, stretching, bending games, which will build good, hard muscles to help hold your body in line. Work will do it too. Any activity which takes balancing or stretching is good for developing the muscles of your shoulders and chest. Spend some time every day working or playing vigorously. To have good posture, get enough exercise. But wait a minute. If you work or play too hard for too long a time, you'll become overtired. It's easy to slump when your muscles are tired. So get enough rest, too. Take time out to relax when you get home from school or any time you feel tired. If you rest for a while before dinner, you'll feel more like sitting up straight at the table. Go to bed early enough to get plenty of sleep, and sleep on a firm mattress which will support your weight without sagging. Remember, to have good posture, you must have enough rest. Your shoes are important to your posture, too. Choose new shoes for comfort and good workmanship. Your shoes should be long enough and wide enough to allow your feet action room, and sturdily made to give your foot complete protection and support. Wear the proper shoes. The foundation of good posture is in your feet. Make it a strong foundation. Yes, Adrienne, Dr. Martin has given you and your classmates a new idea of the importance of good posture. You know now how important it is to your health. He has pointed out 3 important ways a healthy person can develop what it takes for good posture. Boys and girls must eat foods which help keep them well. Only a healthy body can respond to the training which makes good posture a habit. Fortunately, most of you have good health. You're all set to train your body in good posture habits. But what is good posture? Is it the ramrod stiffness of a parade marcher? No. Good standing posture is a comfortable, easy position, such that a straight line could be drawn from your ear, through your shoulder, the center of your hip, and your ankle. When you stand and walk with your body in a straight line, you don't have to throw out your chest, and your stomach flattens out naturally. Good sitting posture means sitting with your head directly above your hips, with your hips and back against the chair. Your feet should be flat on the floor. That's all there is to it, Adrienne. It seems easy, doesn't it? But it's not as easy as it looks. You can't expect to correct posture defects overnight. You'll have to find out from your doctor which exercises will help you the most, and then practice those exercises regularly. Your teachers and your parents will give you encouragement, but the standing tall and walking tall are up to you. You and Tom already had the will for good posture. Now you know the ways. If both of you practice good posture until it's second nature, well, Tom is going to have a set of habits that can make him look better and feel better all of his life. But you, Adrienne, you can not only do good things for your health, but before too long you can walk right up to that crazy mirror in your room, and this time the mirror will be surprised. You will have the last laugh. And what is more important, you'll know that you can be proud of your posture.
Look, here is the new Band-Aid plastic strip with new Super Stick. It sticks better than any other bandage. The proof? Take a dry egg at room temperature. Touch the egg with any other bandage. Brand X, brand Y,
brand Z. Not one sticks. But a Band-Aid plastic strip with new Super Stick sticks tight instantly. Watch it again in slow motion. No pressure, yet we can lift the egg, even boil it. And the Band-Aid plastic strip never comes loose.
Maybe you don't want to broil eggs this way, but you do want the extra protection of Band-Aid plastic strips. They take better care of little cuts and scratches. They stay put.
Yes, even in hot, soapy dishwater. Neat, fresh-colored, almost invisible. Band-Aid plastic strips with new Super Stick stick better than any other bandage. Made only by Johnson & Johnson, the most trusted name in surgical dressings. Be sure you get Band-Aid plastic strips.
Hurt finger. Band-Aid plastic bandage and collar. Hurt elbow. Band-Aid bandage. It's blue. Hurt ankle. Band-Aid bandage. It's yellow. Hurt knee. Band-Aid bandage. It's red. Band-Aid stars and strips. Ooh. Band-Aid strips and spots. Charmers. New. In colors. Get some.
Look sharp, feel sharp, be sharp and listen, mister. How are you fixed for blades? Do you have plenty? How are you fixed for blades? You better check. Please make sure you have enough, 'cause a worn out blade makes shaving mighty tough. How are you fixed for blades? Better look, Gillette blue blades, I mean.
We're going to use an ordinary garden variety peach with its short, close fuzz and tender skin, and a regular regimental hairbrush with its rough, tough bristles, to prove to you that the man-size Remington electric shaver will give you a close, comfortable shave, no matter how tender your skin, no matter how tough your beard. Look at this amazing demonstration. The Remington is so gentle that it can shave the short, close fuzz off a peach without harming its tender skin. And the Remington is so powerful that it can shave the bristles off a brush, bristles tougher than any beard. Remember the amazing demonstration of the peach and brush. For the close, comfortable shave you've always wanted, reach for the Remington electric shaver.
Pee-wee Reese has a way with Dodger rookies or Sandlot youngsters. Pee-wee, you do a lot of work with boys.
Not work, Al. I like baseball and kids. I enjoy helping teenagers start right.
Well, that's around shaving age, and you give them pointers on personal appearance, too?
Yes, a boy has more self-respect when he's clean shaved. I tell him to use a Gillette razor, Al.
You said it, the Gillette Super Speed Razor. And today there are 3. Light for sensitive skin and most younger men. Regular for average skin and beard. Heavy for men who like the heft and feel of a heavier razor. Each is different, precisely engineered. One has the right blade edge exposure, edge angle, and weight to shave you in a breeze. Comfortable, good-looking shaves you may never have had before. And convenient, you change blades and rinse clean, so. Choose your Gillette Super Speed Razor. $1.29 with Gillette Blue Blade dispenser and handy travel case.
Delivered the message. Now what?
Now let's check the second message.
Ready.
Mum,
The doctor's deodorant discovery now contains M3. Got that? M3 to stop odor 24 hours a day. Remember now.
I know. For security reasons, Mum's the word. New Mum Cream Deodorant now with M3. Got the message?
Hey, Susie Q, what's cooking with you?
Your teeth look whiter than new.
My teeth aren't new, but my toothpaste is new Pepsodent. Get with it, kids. New package, new flavor, new formula, too. Means brighter smiles for me and you.
You'll wonder where the yellow went when you brush your teeth with Pepsodent. The new formula with IMP gets teeth much whiter. You can see. It cleans the stains and film away, while Irium fights tooth decay. You'll wonder where the yellow went when you brush your teeth with Pepsodent. The taste is new, so fresh and clean. That new taste really lasts, it's keen. And while it makes your smile a rave, it also makes your breath behave. So start going steady right away with Pepsodent. Get some today. You'll wonder where the yellow went when you brush your teeth with Pepsodent. Pepsodent, Pepsodent.
This is a story of an industry in action.
Gonna take me a press, gonna take me some steel, gonna take my two hands and build an automobile.
How many dreams can you shape in a minute, an hour? Ask the people of Dodge.
Put in a rivet and a welded and a look alive. Wait till you see this baby drive.
What makes an engine go? Is it stock and steel and copper tubing, or infinite care and experience with men and women working together to bring metals alive?
Turn her out, Henry! Turn her out, Joe! We'll put her together and then watch her go!
Heads up, she's coming down. 2 months ago, 3 tons of unmined ore. Today, a designer's idea come to life.
Put a brand new body on a brand new frame. Tighten her up and give it a name. Call it a dot.
It's a proud name. Proud in tradition, proud in service. Swift and mighty in action.
I took me a press, I took me some steel, I took my two hands and built an automobile. I built a Dodge, I built a Dodge.
Thank you.